My name is Don Komatowski with Milcom Business Solutions. I am going to be giving a demonstration of Microsoft Excel PowerPivot. It is a free add-in for Microsoft Excel 2010 and 2013 that is basically pivot tables on steroids. It allows us to bring in data from ODBC, SQL sources, other access database sources, any just different database sources, or even online database sources. And it enables us to work with millions of rows of data in a very optimized way, which Excel couldn't do in that kind of manner. So I'm going to show you how we've integrated it with Dynamics GP data, and so you can see the ability to analyze data with PowerPivot and Dynamics GP GL data and other subledger data. So you see in the pivot in the Excel spreadsheet, you see a new add-in here called PowerPivot. We click on that. We're going to go to our PowerPivot window. This is where the data was initially defined by me, and you'll see 5 different tabs here. The GL detailed data, that's every row from the open GL tables, and some other data that might be also joined from other tables. Budget data, that's at the month level by account, and then there's some other columns just to help us in our building of our pivot tables. A year, month, date table, GL accounts table that we could separate each segment of the GL chart. We can get what type of account it is, description, those kind of things in it. And then a month name table that just allows us to help sort our columns by the month names. So we can access, as you see here, database, SQL databases, access, analysis services from Microsoft, reports, text files, data feeds. It basically gives us an easy interface to access data from any ODBC source. So once we have the data, we'll show you how quickly it can actually refresh data from the database, and it's going to populate the PowerPivot database that's kind of built into Excel. And so we'll go to refresh. You're going to see we'll refresh all and see how quick it is. It's going to refresh GL detail, budget, and GL accounts. It's already done. It's brought in 42,000 rows of data from Dynamics GP. So from there, we would do that daily or anytime we want to analyze current data. It actually stores that data within the PowerPivot data tables in Excel. And so we can then work with that offline. We have that data, so we take the spreadsheet somewhere. We have a data as of right now, that data, all that GL data, all in PowerPivot, so we can analyze it on our own, take it home and analyze it offline if we'd like to. So we're going to go and create a pivot table. You could create charts, a pivot table and charts, multiple charts or pivot tables, but we're just going to start off with pivot tables. So from this screen, you click Power Pivot or Pivot Table. You can start with a new one, or we could add it to an existing worksheet. And then you're going to see a lot of that similar pivot table functionality that is what you're used to seeing and in pivot tables, and it has some functionality that you're not used to seeing. In pivot tables, you can only have one table. In PowerPivot, we can have multiple tables and join them together to get it at our data. It gives us a lot more flexibility. We can bring in, like I said, millions of rows quite a bit faster. It also has a language called DAX, which stands for Database Analysis Extension, I believe. So we can define our own fields in this, calculated fields, or measures, if you will. So this variance is a measure between these two tables, budget amount and net GL amount. It's the difference. So it gives us a lot of flexibility with DAX, this language, to do things that you couldn't do normally in pivot tables. So let's just build a quick version of this to analyze GL detailed data. We'll take the net GL amount, that's debit minus credit. And let's just format this a little bit. And this is 0 right now because it's all the debits and credits for all the data, open data. It should net out to 0. Let's put our month name in our column. Let's put our year. Or I'm sorry, let's put our main GL segment, main GL account from our GL accounts table. And our labels. And now we're going to put in some slicers or filters so we can look at data by year, month, those type of things. We're going to do it from our GLP table. Or no, it's actually in here. So let's put that in our horizontal slicer and our year-to-date slicer. And that way, if we wanted to see 27 data, we can. Let's add some other filters, slicers for from the GL account side. So what type of account? Whether it's a balance sheet or P&L. And let's add also maybe departments. Any segment we have in our GL, we can add to here. Department, company. So you can envision each segment of your GL. If you want to analyze data by any of those segments, you can put them in here and then analyze data. So basically, normal pivot table functionality. From this point on, we can do, add any of the normal, any field in here as our measures. There's the full account string. If we want to look at our vendors, maybe if we want to analyze vendors and our expenses, we can go to our original master ID, which is subledger IDs, and now you can see them broken out by account. And then if you wanted to add another filter, you could bring in the source here. And let's say we just want to look at payables. Let's see. A balance sheet. And look at payables, invoices, and purchasing invoices and payables invoices, and you can break it out there. So you can see normal pivot table functionality, but we're accessing all our SQL data. And we basically do the build up front of what you would need in our GL data, and for some of our clients that might be project data, might be analytical accounting dimensional data. It could be additional subledger data. Maybe you want more detail on these invoices, and so for the payables, we would bring in more detail that you want to look and analyze for those invoices. So that shows basically PowerPivot functioning for just the GL. Now let's show real quickly the budget, GL budget versus actuals. The good thing about this is the way it functions here. It's kind of nice in one place. You can quickly switch between departments, analyze that data, budgets, and change your budget. So one of our clients has 3 budgets for the year, and they can change their budget data and easily analyze by different budgets, and obviously filter whatever year you're at. So you don't have to rerun like Management Reporter. Management Reporter for GP is a great reporting tool, and you could actually have a column for each budget if you want to analyze it. But this is just an easier analysis tool to quickly change years or any of the other measures, aspects, departments, company. If you want to put your company segment in there, months, budgets. Balance sheets, obviously, it doesn't make as much sense for your budget for your balance sheets, but So that's another option, using budget versus actuals, and you could put in your own budget in Excel, not have the budget from GP, but have your own budget as one of your other tabs that you upload to PowerPivot. You create it in Excel and then upload it as one of your tables in PowerPivot, and then look at your budget data. You can have your own forecast, and look at each one in PowerPivot. And then on another, we'll show you a subledger view of this data right now, where we're looking at sales data, and we'll also show you dashboards. And we'll just show you if you would visualize how this might look for you in payables, or if you wanted to show expenses and dashboards set up for any of your subledger data, inventory, payables, any fixed assets, or anything you basically want to look at. So in this dashboard, it's pre-built. We just refresh the data, daily, go up the data, refresh all, and we're ready to refresh. So this allows us to quickly switch between salespeople, and these filters are driving all these pivot tables and all these charts. So I changed the person here. You're going to see all the numbers change for the year. That didn't have any for that person for 2013. So if I want to add another year, I can add a year, and that's why the difference is out there, because this was pre-built to show 2 years, not just 1 year, and then the difference between those years. And you can see these are changing at the same time, showing each year. So we've got both years, 2012, 2013, as we change the filters here. So that's a quick overview of the power of PowerPivot linked with GP data. Once you get it set up, you're in total control. You can save these spreadsheets, send them to colleagues. They can do their own analysis, make changes, add new pivot tables from the raw data on the PowerPivot that we've defined. You can also publish this to SharePoint and then run everything from SharePoint. So I hope this shows you a good overview of the power of PowerPivot with linking it together with Dynamics GP data, and then for you able to see how easily it is to analyze data and to quickly give you the results that you would like to see in a nice, easy, friendly format that you're used to, which is pivot tables and pivot charts. So I hope that was a good introduction to you, and you can envision possibly how it might help your company. It is a free add-in. The only time is our time to set it up, install, define the queries for your company, and then after that initial training, you're off and running, you're doing your own analysis, and you can continue to do that as long as you have the spreadsheets out there. So thanks again for your time. I hope this was a beneficial presentation for you, and that if you have any questions, please call us. Go to milcombiz.com and send us an email with your questions, or give us a call. Thank you very much.